YouTube, today we got some pretty interesting information coming straight from Dan Ogles. If you guys don't know, he is one of the top developers in Spellbreak and basically dictates where the game goes in the future. He went into Timmy's chat and dropped all this information. If you aren't following Timmy, go make sure to follow Timmy on both YouTube and Twitch. He makes really good, consistent content, and if you're looking to get involved in an awesome community, just don't sleep on Timmy, guys. Don't do it. So we're going to check out the clip of Timmy explaining what Dan said, and then we're going to break it down and explain why each part is important. Check it out.
Chapter 4 is what most of the developers are focusing on right now. Chapter 4 will be the biggest content update that we've ever had. He said Chapter 3 will focus mainly on balance and core gameplay mechanic changes. And he also said that the dash rune would now suck in Chapter 3. So that's pretty much everything we got.
Yeah, so there's a lot of information packed in just a couple sentences right there. I think Dan did a good job of communicating there while kind of giving people what we wanted to hear, just honesty without revealing too much, right? Because as game developers, they can't really be completely transparent, because they have to have some way to build hype, right? There's no hype if you know what's coming. So they really needed to find a way to have that balance of where they can market with some hype, and then they can also be transparent and be honest about the direction of the game and what we should expect with the future of the game. So basically, let's start out with the whole Chapter 4 thing. So if you didn't know, Chapter 4 is not the next chapter, and he said that the majority of the developers are working on Chapter 4, and it's going to be one of the biggest content patches ever. So what that means to me is they're going to be saving up some stuff for a big patch on Chapter 4. What that also means to me is that Chapter 3 will probably be a little bit light. So that being said, I don't really think we should expect a whole lot of marketing out of Chapter 3. I think we'll be in this lull for quite some time. And if you do the math, Chapter 4 should start around October. So that is about when we should start seeing some heavy marketing, if it is truly going to be the biggest content patch ever. Something that I wanted to mention was that back before Spellbreak launched, I had tweeted something about Spellbreak's release not being the end-all be-all, that it's not the end of the game, that it's just the beginning, right? And that not all of the potential of the game lies in the official release. And I got a reply back from Jesse, who is another one of the top developers. Him alongside of Dan basically dictate the entire direction of the game. I think that's how it works. But basically, Jesse responded, said, yeah, it could even take years. So they're in it for the long haul. They're trying to be smart. If they really don't think Chapter 3 is going to be a massive update content-wise and that they don't have a lot to sell with the game, they're probably going to be smart and not waste a bunch of money marketing that. Another thing that leads into that is the fact that he mentioned that Chapter 3 is going to touch on core gameplay mechanics, which is pretty massive, right? I mean, core gameplay is core gameplay. It's how the game is played. So it's making changes to the base foundation, and that's pretty huge, and it's all-encompassing as far as the game goes. So if something goes wrong with that, it will probably be game-breaking. So that also leads into me believing that they're probably not going to market a whole lot for Chapter 3, because if it's not tested and they're not 100% positive that what they're adding and changing isn't going to be game-breaking, if they spend a bunch of money marketing and then the game ends up being basically broken for the first week or two of the patch, everybody who tries it is going to be pretty upset, not really give the game a chance, and all their marketing money is going to go to waste because they spent money marketing a game that isn't really playable, or is frustrating when you play it, at least. So I really don't think they're going to take that chance on that patch. But I do want to talk about them making core gameplay changes because, like I said, it's massive. It's all-encompassing in the game. And if you think about it, something that could represent like a core gameplay change, in my mind, that really stands out is turbo building in Fortnite, which essentially was just... I'm not positive. I played Fortnite after turbo building was in the game, but before, when you were building, you used to have to click for every individual piece that you were placing. And when they added turbo building, what that changed was that all you have to do is hold down the mouse and it'll automatically place it. So you don't have to click 1,000 times to place a bunch of pieces. And what that did was that increased the skill gap in Fortnite by a lot. So that's when building started getting really crazy. So if we take that into account, if they add something like that with Spellbreak, that could really be game changing and really bring the combat back to where it needs to be. Because right now I'm sure a lot of people saw OP's video or just has been present within the community and has heard that a lot of people aren't too fond of the combat right now because it's a lot of big AoE explosions. There's not a lot of like skill shots. Movement isn't the best right now, and it's just kind of gone away from the core of what made Spellbreak good, which back in alpha and pre-alpha... Let me kill this guy. This guy's just gonna keep flying at me. Come here. Come here. Yeah, stop it. Okay. Just stop. But yeah, essentially what could be happening is we could get some game-changing movement back in the game, or change how projectiles work, or something like that. I really don't know what it's going to be. He responded to OP's video that was on the Reddit last night. He is Dan, by the way. And he had said that he had addressed a lot of the things that OP had brought up. So if you want to see OP's video or just see what Dan said, check OP's Reddit post. I don't know why I said that so weird, but my brain is not completely working right now. But basically, he ended that comment by saying that combat in Chapter 3 is incredibly fun. So I'm assuming we're going to get some pretty big changes to the combat system, right? To how we play. Or even just one big change. Like, it just needs to be one mechanic that changes, and it can affect the entire game, similarly to how turbo building did. So I'm really excited to see what that is. I'm not sure exactly what they'll be changing, obviously, but it should be really cool, I hope. If they go the right direction, if they are listening to their community, which it seems like they're leaning more into that and being more transparent and really listening a lot more and trying to show like, hey, we care about your guys' opinion. If they are listening to that, we should hopefully get some good movement changes, because it seems like movement and AoE is what everybody seems to be complaining about. So hopefully it lies somewhere in that. Maybe it'll lie in combinations, but we'll see. In a couple weeks, we'll see what comes with it, and I'm sure I'll cover it on the channel. What leads me into thinking that it's movement is how Timmy finished that. His little comment there was that Dan said that Dash Rune is going to suck. So I don't know exactly what that means, because Dash Rune is the best rune in the game, or one of the best runes in the game, alongside of like Spring Step and Shadow Step. So really, I don't see them nerfing Dash, because everybody loves Dash, it seems to be. So it would be really dumb if they nerf Dash. So what could happen is we can get buffs to our movement somehow that makes Dash not as helpful, or they can really buff runes, but that doesn't lead to like core gameplay mechanics, right? But I mean, they could really touch on a whole lot of stuff in this patch, balance-wise, and change up essentially how Spellbreak is played as a whole. I can't hit a shot. There we go. One. I tried to record this video once and a guy in this skin killed me, so now I am, I'm really focusing this skin. I'm out for revenge on anybody who wears that skin, at least for this video. Come here. That's the last guy. But yeah, what do you guys think the core changes are going to be? And what do you think... I'm curious. I don't think that we'll get like a new gauntlet, because I don't think that's necessarily a core change. I feel like that's more of a content change. I feel like Chapter 4 will probably get like huge map changes. Maybe like big updates to the game modes. We'll probably get, if we do get a new gauntlet, it'll probably be for that patch. I would assume that they would say that they wouldn't say that Chapter 3 is mostly balance changes and then throw out one of the biggest content releases that they could release. So yeah, it seems like we're gonna have a little bit of slow time in Spellbreak up until probably October. We might get a little bump with the next patch, just depending on how they decide to spend their marketing money. Let me know what you guys think the combat changes is gonna be for Chapter 3, because that is what I'm most excited about. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out Timmy's and OP's channel. I had mentioned both of their videos, and use a little bit of Timmy's clip. Show him some love if you're looking for some more Spellbreak content. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Twitch channel. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a good day. Later.